QAM, 16 QAM, 4 QAM, 8 QAM for digital to analog conversion. And we saw in the previous chapter, fifth chapter, that for analog to digital conversion, we can use any of the techniques for digital to analog conversion. Out of them, one is 16 QAM. And another one is, now we were discussing in the chapter, yesterday we started multiplexing, and what do we mean by multiplexing and why we need multiplexing. I hope I am clear, I am audible to all of you. And we students, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah. So, yes. So FDM is basically frequency division multiplexing, which uses analog technique to multiplex the data to combine various analog signals of low frequency, and they carry the analog data from the low frequency signals. It carries the data onto higher frequency carrier signals and multiplex it on a higher bandwidth line, and then transfer it to the destination. And at that destination, we demultiplex all the signals, we filter out the different frequencies, higher carrier frequencies, and we demultiplex and demodulate the signals to get back the original sent signals or original signals which were sent by the sender. So that was FDM as shown in figure 6.8 here. So now what are the various analog carrier systems which use FDM? So there is an analog hierarchy which is used by the telephone companies. So they use analog hierarchy using FDM. So they have the concept of groups, super group, master group, and jumbo group. And the next page, Pallavi, please, can you scroll it, 161. So figure 6.9 you can see here. So the FDM uses a concept of groups. So when we are multiplexing 12 voice channels of 4 kilohertz each. So now you can see, as we discussed many times, that all the audio lines, all the telephone lines, the human audible range is from 300 kilohertz to 3000 kilohertz or 4000 kilohertz. So 4000 hertz, sorry, not kilohertz, 4000 hertz, which becomes 4 kilohertz. So all the telephone lines, all the telephones, the normal landline phones earlier, they used to have 4 kilohertz of bandwidth. So they need only 4 kilohertz. But we could combine 12 voice channels into one high capacity channel of 48 kilohertz, and they were multiplexed using one FDM channel, and that group was called one group. So a group is 12 voice channels of 4 kilohertz voice channels. Then 5 groups of this 48 kilohertz bandwidth, in which now a single group contains 12 voice channels. Then these 12 channels form one group, and these 5 groups can be combined into super groups. So that becomes 60 voice channels. So the capacity will be 48 into 5, that is 240 kilohertz of higher bandwidth. Then these super groups are clubbed, 10 super groups are clubbed into master group, and then the bandwidth will be 240 kilohertz into 10, that will become 2.52 kilohertz. So 600 voice channels. And then 6 master groups are combined into one jumbo group of 16.984 megahertz, that is 3600 voice channels. So you can see the jumbo group contains 3600 voice channels. So these many telephones can be multiplexed, or these many telephones can be connected using a jumbo group and a high capacity group of 16.984 megahertz of bandwidth. So that way, telephone systems, they use the analog hierarchy to club the various telephone lines and to multiplex them and to use the entire telephone system. So I hope that is clear to all of you, because FDM we discussed yesterday also. That is just the example how the telephone lines, they were using the analog hierarchy to implement FDM for the telephone system, for a long for a huge telephone system, for a huge telephone company. So you must have heard about MTNL, Metro Telephone, Mahanagar Telephone Nigam Limited, that is MTNL, that was used earlier, and that company was very popular in 90s and 2001 up to 2010, I think. Thereafter, the mobile companies took over and MTN was left behind. So MTNL was the company which was basically using this telephone. It had all these infrastructure of analog hierarchy, and it used FDM for landline phones. So basically, this was used by the telephone exchanges. So one small local telephone exchange can have these 12 voice lines. Then it can be clubbed into group, super group, master group, and jumbo group. So this way, they use this over an analog hierarchy. I hope that is clear to all of you. Hello, students. Is it clear to all of you? Is anyone there? Students, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So other applications of FDM, as I discussed earlier also, these FM channels, I am giving you constantly throughout this computer networks class, I am giving you example of FM radio. So earlier you must have heard about shortwave and AM radio. That was using AM as a technique, that is amplitude modulation. We discussed amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, and phase modulation yesterday. So the earlier radio transmitters and receivers, earlier radio systems in 80s, 70s, and 90s when we were using radios, they used to have AM as a technique for multiplexing and for transmission. So they used to have AM bandwidth. AM is amplitude modulation. But now we have another technique known as FDM, that is frequency division multiplexing. And that frequency FDM is basically used in radio broadcasting nowadays. And it is again now basically not very popular nowadays because of the internet, because now we are using TCP/IP protocol suites. So basically FM was very popular 5 years back and 10 years back when you were kids, I think. So you were small kids. So these are the basically FM and AM radio. These are the common applications which use FDM, frequency division multiplexing. So radio basically they transmit the data in transmission medium, which is known as air. Pallavi, your screen is not shown here.
Okay, ma'am. I'll try to basically re-represent it.
Okay. Fine, you try. So should I continue?
Was it visible, ma'am?
I think abhi nahi.
Wait, ma'am.
Yeah. It must be taking time because of the bandwidth. Page number 161.
Is it not visible?
Yes, now it is visible. Thank you, Pallavi. So basically, AM and FM radio, they are applications of FDM which uses frequency division multiplexing. So the spatial band is allotted for all the radio transmitters and radio stations, and that spatial band is between 530 to 1700 kilohertz, and it is assigned to AM radio. And for FM, nowadays we use the bandwidth of 88 megahertz to 108 megahertz. So we can see that earlier we used to have AM stations and AM broadcasters and AM receivers. They used to send the data on the channels between 530 to 1700 kilohertz. Now you can just see the AM radio stations also had the bandwidth of 530 to 1700 kilohertz. So that means my data range, my audio signal range was 4 kilohertz per channel. So because that is a voice channel, so normally voice channels, either it is telephone line or normal speech, it is always in the range of 4 kilohertz, 300 hertz to 3000 kilohertz or 33 kilohertz, or at max 4 kilohertz. So all those channels, AM stations, they used to transmit the data and at 4 kilohertz. And we discussed, and there was just an example in the last chapter, 5th chapter, that we normally give 10 kilohertz of bandwidth to all the AM stations for other control signals also, because we not only have to transmit the voice signal and the data, we have to send the control signals also along with the data. So the AM stations, they usually are allotted 10 kilohertz of bandwidth, all the AM stations earlier which were using AM radio. So basically multiplexing is not done at the physical layer. This is just a concept. We'll discuss it later, and multiplexing is done at the data link layer. That is the next layer of TCP/IP model. So same is done with FM radio. So proper bandwidth and the proper band for FM broadcasting is allotted to all the FM stations. And the broadband, the band is basically a wider band, and it has a higher frequency band, which is 88 megahertz to 108 megahertz. So now you can understand the earlier word in the range of kilohertz, the AM stations. Now FM stations, they are of high bandwidth and wider range, 88 megahertz to 108 megahertz. So now all the FM channels are in megahertz. Earlier they were in kilohertz. So you must have heard the earlier radios, or you can discuss it with your elder siblings who are above 25 years of age, or maybe your parents who have heard the AM radio in earlier days, in 90s and 70s or 80s. So they used to have the short wave or AM radio, and they used to have the frequencies in kilohertz. Now the frequencies bands are in megahertz. So, and all the TV channels also, they have the bandwidth of 6 megahertz. So now, therefore, the earlier TV channels, they used to have kilohertz frequency. So therefore, we were used to, the data rate was not high, and the resolution was also not high. And it took time to change the screens also. They were like comparatively slow, and they used to have less data. And now we used to have more data because of the color television and high quality signals are being transmitted. So nowadays, TV channels, they use higher frequency bandwidth, that is 6 megahertz for each TV channel. So now another example is of FDM is the first generation of cellular phones. Cellular phone is basically mobile phone, because in mobile technology, we used to earlier when it was started, we used to say cellular phones, not mobile phones, because cellular phones basically they use the technique of cell. So all the physical area, the entire physical area on the ground is divided into various frequency cells. So in a particular cell, a particular frequency is being operated. तो जितने भी आपके एडजेसेंट सेल्स होते हैं, हेक्सागोनल सेल्स में हम बेसिकली हम अपने एरिया को डिवाइड करते हैं. वहां पर मोबाइल टावर्स जो हैं, जो सेलुलर कंपनीज थी, वो अपने सेल में डिवाइड करते थे कि इस सेल में या इस पर्टिकुलर फिजिकल एरिया में, ज्योग्राफिकल एरिया में आपकी कोई एक पर्टिकुलर फ्रीक्वेंसी, कैरेक्टर फ्रीक्वेंसी पर ऑपरेट करेंगे सारे मोबाइल फोन्स. दैट वाज द टेक्निक बिहाइंड सेलुलर फोन्स. So earlier cellular phones, they were also using the techniques of FDM, that is frequency division multiplexing, and each user was assigned a 30 kilohertz of channel for transmitting the data and 30 for receiving that voice channel. Because in earlier mobile phones only, or earlier cellular phones, you must have seen before BlackBerry and Nokia, other phones, there was no other thing which was transmitted over the mobile phones. It was only the voice calls. Only the thing which started with the mobile phones is that you were able to receive and send the messages and the calls on a mobile device, and you can from one place to another phone. You don't need a landline phone. That was a landline phone. That was the concept behind the mobile phones or the cellular phones, which were devised in earlier days of mobile phones. So they used to have 30 kilohertz of voice channel for sending and 30 kilohertz of voice channel for receiving. Now we'll discuss it, and in fact this is each channel, it needs a bandwidth of 30 kilohertz, because हर चैनल को, वॉइस चैनल को 30 किलो हर्ट्ज की बैंडविड्थ इसलिए चाहिए क्योंकि हमें उसको 10 टाइम्स चाहिए टू सेंड अदर सिग्नल्स ऑल्सो. So this we discuss in FM signals because they need 10 times more bandwidth than the normal AM signal. So that's why each channel instead of 3 kilohertz, we need 30 kilohertz for each voice channel. और हमें डुप्लेक्स ट्रांसमिशन करना है FDM में वॉइस चैनल पर या सेलुलर फोन्स पे. So हर चैनल में सेंडिंग साइड पर भी आपको अगर डुप्लेक्स मोड में करना है तो सेंडर साइड पर भी 30 kilohertz for voice channel and 30 kilohertz for the receiving signal. So we need 60 kilohertz of bandwidth for each voice channel, which needs to operate in a full duplex mode. So we have example of advanced phone systems which nowadays, and they use those band 4 to 8 megahertz, 6.4. First band है वो हमारा 5 हर्ट्ज का पूरा बैंड है, ranging from best frequency 824 megahertz and best frequency ranges 849 megahertz, and it is used for sending the data on from, that is uploading the data, and the receiving side uses the bandwidth 869 megahertz to 894 megahertz. So both the channels, each channel is of bandwidth 25 megahertz. So one channel we use the frequencies in the range of 824 to 849 megahertz are used for sending the data, voice data, and for receiving the data, the normal mobile phones, they use 869 to 894 megahertz of frequency. Now each user has a bandwidth of 30 kilohertz in each direction, that we know. सेंडिंग डायरेक्शन में भी 30 किलोहर्ट्ज चाहिए. अगर हम FM यूज कर रहे हैं, फ्रीक्वेंसी मॉड्यूलेशन यूज कर रहे हैं, तो कोई भी वॉइस चैनल के लिए हमें 10 टाइम्स ज्यादा फ्रीक्वेंसी की जरूरत पड़ेगी, क्योंकि 3 किलोहर्ट्ज तो हमारा हम नॉर्मल रेंज मानते हैं, एवरेज रेंज, ह्यूमन रेंज. मैक्सिमम इज 4 किलोहर्ट्ज, लेकिन 3 किलोहर्ट्ज पर हम एक नॉर्मल वॉइस डेटा को भेज सकते हैं, एनालॉग डेटा को भेज सकते हैं. सो बट वी नो, और इट इज सीन दैट फॉर sending other control signals, we need to have a 10 times more bandwidth than the actual bandwidth required is 3 kilohertz. So 10 times more is 3 into 10, that is 30 kilohertz. So that is for one direction. So हर जो voice channel है उसमें आपको 30 kilohertz plus 30 kilohertz for receiving, 30 kilohertz for sending the data, voice data. So अगर हमें 3 kilohertz voice is modulated using FM, creating 30 kilohertz of modulated signal, how many people can use their cellular phones simultaneously? अब हमारे पास बैंडविड्थ हमें पता है कि 824 to 849 मेगाहर्ट्ज की बैंडविड्थ है सेंडिंग के लिए, और रिसीविंग के लिए 869 to 894 मेगाहर्ट्ज की बैंडविड्थ है. तो उसमें अगर हम ये मान के चलते हैं कि 30 किलोहर्ट्ज हर यूजर के लिए हर एक डायरेक्शन में रिक्वायर्ड है, और हर वॉइस चैनल 3 किलोहर्ट्ज का है और 30 किलोहर्ट्ज फ्रीक्वेंसी यूज करे, तो हमें बताना है कि how many people can talk on their AMPS system or advanced mobile phone systems or cellular phones, how many users can be accommodated in this frequency range. Now the solution is on the next page. Each band is 25 megahertz, and we have seen 824 to 849 is 25 megahertz. So if we divide 25 megahertz by 30 kilohertz, why we are dividing it by 30 kilohertz, not 60 kilohertz? Because for sending a separate bandwidth is there. For receiving, the bandwidth is 869 to 894 megahertz. Fine. So for sending, we need only 30 kilohertz per channel. So if we divide 25 megahertz by 30 kilohertz, we approximately get 833.33. So in reality, the band is divided into 832 channels. 833 is basically the number of users because they are separated by 30 kilohertz frequencies. So each user will require 30 kilohertz for sending, 30 kilohertz, 30 kilohertz, 30 kilohertz. So it is approximately 833 users. So we, in general, instead of 833, we will be using 832 channels. So one channel will leave. And of these, 42 channels are used for controlling, sending the control signals, which means only 790 channels are available for cellular phone users. So एक आपका उसमें आपके 790 जो channels हैं या 790 users can be accommodated, and बाकी आपका डिटेल्स हम बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे. But normally what happens कि हम ऐसा कर सकते हैं कि 790 users, अब you will argue if only 790 mobile users or cellular phone users can only be accommodated in this range. So then how come so many lakhs of phone users are accommodated in this frequency range? There are so many techniques nowadays. This is for only FM channels, or sorry, FDM frequency. We nowadays we have higher bandwidth channels like optical fibers and other techniques, and we can use TDM also. We'll be discussing shortly. TDM is time division multiplexing, and higher bandwidth is and we can accommodate sorry, we don't use basically FDM all the time, and we are not allocating the channel. Now suppose अब आपके पास मोबाइल फोन का नंबर आ गया, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है कि जो आपका सपोज एयरटेल का फोन है या वोडाफोन का है या सपोज जियो का फोन है, तो उसकी सारी की सारी बैंडविड्थ आपको नहीं मिली है. तो 790 यूजर्स कंटिन्यूअसली जो है सारे के सारे एक ही टाइम पर नहीं आपके ऑपरेट कर रहे हैं. सो एक टाइम पर, एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम पर 790 यूजर्स अकोमोडेट हो सकते हैं विद द मैक्सिमम फ्रीक्वेंसी, बट वो टाइम शेयरिंग भी कर रहे हैं, अलग अलग टाइम्स पर भी कॉल कर रहे हैं. तो एक और वो जब वो रिलीज कर देंगे कनेक्शन, वो फ्रीक्वेंसी को रिलीज कर देंगे, सम अदर यूजर विल बी कनेक्टेड टू द फ्रीक्वेंसी. देयरफॉर समटाइम्स व्हाट हैपेंस, जब आप कनेक्ट कर रहे होते हो तो आपकी कॉल नहीं लगती है क्योंकि आपको वो फ्रीक्वेंसी एलोकेट नहीं हो पाती है, बिकॉज मैक्सिमम यूजर्स कैन बी 790 ओनली. So implementation says FDM can be implemented very easily. As we have seen, we need to have only modulator, demodulator, or multiplexer and demultiplexer. So in many cases, such as radio and television broadcasting, there is no need for a physical multiplexer or demultiplexer. As long as the stations agree to send their broadcast to the air using different carrier frequencies, multiplexing is achieved. So in other cases, such as the cellular telephone system, a base station needs to assign a carrier frequency to the telephone user. There is not enough bandwidth in a cell to permanently assign a bandwidth range to every telephone user. So when a user hangs up, her or his bandwidth is assigned to another caller. As I discussed in the previous sentence, that we need not have a static bandwidth for every user. So जैसे ही मैंने फोन हैंग किया तो मेरी bandwidth जो है वो किसी और को अलॉट हो जाएगी. और यहाँ पर FDM करना बहुत इजी रहेगा क्योंकि आपको मल्टीप्लेक्सिंग को डीमल्टीप्लेक्सिंग के कोई हार्डवेयर की जरूरत नहीं है. एज लॉन्ग एज हर टेलीफोन जो है वो एक अलग फ्रीक्वेंसी पे ट्रांसमिट कर रहा है, हर यूजर एक अलग फ्रीक्वेंसी पर ट्रांसमिट कर रहा है, तो उसमें आपको मल्टीप्लेक्सिंग की और डीमल्टीप्लेक्सिंग की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी क्योंकि आपके पास पूरी एक रेंज है. और जो भी आपका वॉइस सिग्नल जा रहा है, तो अलग अलग टेलीफोन कंपनीज है, अलग अलग आपके चैनल्स हैं, वॉइस चैनल्स हैं, उन सब से अगर आप अलग अलग कैरियर फ्रीक्वेंसी पे सुपर इम्पोज कर रहे हो, उसमें मॉड्यूलेट कर रखे हैं सिग्नल को, तो मल्टीप्लेक्सिंग की कोई जरूरत नहीं. वो सिर्फ चैनल आपके लिए खाली है, एलोकेटेड है, और उस पर आप ट्रांसमिट कर सकते हो सिग्नल को. ठीक है. सो इट इज इजियर टू इम्प्लीमेंट एज कंपेयर टू अदर टेक्निक्स. Now next one is wavelength division multiplexing, and as you can assume or as you can interpret from the name wavelength. Now the concept of frequency comes when we are dealing with the analog signals and the frequencies. So when we are dealing with FDM and normal electrical signals, we say frequencies. But when we are dealing with the optical signals, you must have studied that in class 12 in physics. I think all of you are from science background. You must have studied physics at class 12.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So there is no commerce student who is in PCR studies. Huh? Fine. So wavelength division multiplexing is basically implemented and it is used for optical signals. So when we have optical signals and the transmission media is optical fiber, we use the concept of WDM, that is wavelength division multiplexing. So it is designed to use the high data rate capability of fiber optic cable. So nowadays, you must have seen in your area also, in any city, if you are living in Delhi or Mumbai or any other city of Indian city or Indian village, you must have seen that there are so many companies who are digging holes and they are laying the optical fibers. तो हर जगह digging हो रही है, दिल्ली में बहुत जगहों पर digging हो रही है और हर जगह पर optical fiber connections आ रहे हैं because of the fast demand. Because of the increasing demand of Wi-Fi. ठीक है, जितने भी Wi-Fi वो हैं providers हैं, so they are basically digging holes on the roads and they are digging in fibers. तो optical fibers हर जगह बिछाई जा रही है और उसके लिए ऑप्टिकल फाइबर्स का बेसिकली यूसेज क्या है, देयर ऑफ हाई बैंडविड्थ, उनकी बैंडविड्थ इतनी ज्यादा है, दे आर मोर रिलायबल देन कोएक्सियल केबल्स एंड दे आर लाइट वेट आल्सो. So basically, we use the high data rate capability of optical fibers, and the optical fiber data rate is higher than the metallic transmission medium of basically coaxial cable and twisted cable, दोनों जो हम पहले use करते हैं in older days in telephone companies. So, but using a fiber optic cable for a single line waste the available bandwidth, so multiplexing again here is used, and it allows to combine several lines into one. So as we have seen कि FDM में भी अगर आपका हायर कैरियर फ्रीक्वेंसी और बैंडविड्थ बहुत ज्यादा है हाई रेंज में, तो हम मल्टीप्लेक्सिंग यूज कर सकते हैं. सिंपल वॉइस चैनल्स के लिए अलग अलग एक ट्रांसमिशन मीडिया लाने की जरूरत नहीं है, और उसके लिए केबल अलग से लेड करने की या उसको ड्रॉ केबल को कनेक्ट करने की जरूरत नहीं है. So we can multiplex all the smaller frequencies into one higher bandwidth of higher carrier frequency. Similarly, ऑप्टिकल फाइबर के लिए भी एक ऑप्टिकल फाइबर एक ही लिंक के लिए या दो डिवाइसेस को कनेक्ट करने के लिए नहीं है, तो वी कैन यूज मल्टीप्लेक्सिंग हियर आल्सो. और हायर बैंडविड्थ कैपेबिलिटी जो है आपकी ऑप्टिकल फाइबर की, उसको यूटिलाइज करने के लिए वी कैन कनेक्ट मोर डिवाइसेस एंड वी कैन हैव वेरियस वेवलेंथ. So but as we see the optical signals, or you say light signals, so when you are transmitting light through a prism, it is transmitted at a, or it is reflected at a different angle. तो जिस एंगल पर आप उसको लाइट को वो करते हो, इंसिडेंट करते हो, तो एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस जो है उस पर डिपेंड करेगा कि कितने एंगल पर वो रिफ्लेक्ट करेगा. तो एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस इज ऑलवेज इक्वल टू, क्या है इक्वेशन फिजिक्स की, एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस इज इक्वल टू
of reflection.
एंगल ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन. फाइन. सो अलग अलग इंसिडेंस अगर एंगल होगा तो रिफ्लेक्शन एंगल भी अलग अलग होगा. तो लाइट रे जो आप उससे प्रिज्म से पास कर रहे हो, उसके थ्रू जो लाइट वेव गई है, तो अलग अलग, जैसे मानिए 10 वेव्स आप लाइट वेव्स को या लाइट सिग्नल्स को उस पर डाल रहे हो प्रिज्म में, तो अलग अलग डायरेक्शंस में लाइट रिफ्लेक्ट होगी. सो यू कैन सेग्रीगेट एंड यू कैन सेपरेट द लाइट सिग्नल्स. सो सबका एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस अलग होगा, सबका एंगल ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन अलग होगा. फाइन. So you can use the high bandwidth of optical fibers. So optical fibers में हम basically light signals को transmit करते हैं, और more than one light signal can be multiplexed into a single optical fiber. So now you can see figure 6.10, और यहाँ पर basically हम जो discuss करते हैं इसको wavelength division multiplexing बोलते हैं, when we are combining various light waves coming from different sources, so at different frequencies and different wavelengths. So it is known as WDM. So we use WDM multiplexer and WDM demultiplexer, और यहाँ पर multiplexer और demultiplexer का काम जो है वो कौन करेगा, एक prism रख सकते हैं. We should have a higher fine prism through which the light waves can pass. So WDM technology is comparatively complex, but the basic idea is very simple as compared to FDM. It is simple. It is simpler like FDM only, but to implement it is a bit complex. So we want to combine the multiple light sources into one single light source, the multiplexer, and do the reverse at the demultiplexer. So there, all the light rays reflected at a different angle will be passed on to the different destinations and the different receivers. So the combining and splitting of light sources are easily handled by a prism, as we discussed in the last slide. So recall from basic physics that a prism bends a beam of light based on the angle of incidence and the frequency. So using this technique, a multiplexer can be made to combine several input beams of light, each containing a narrow band of frequencies, into one output beam of a wider band of frequencies. A demultiplexer can also be made to do the reverse process. Fine. So figure 6.11, you can see there are two prisms. One prism, on one prism you are sending the various light signals L1, L2, L3, and it is doing multiplexing, and it is combining all of them and sending it to a higher fiber optic cable. So you will have in between these two prisms you will have an optical cable which is combining the three light waves at lambda 1, lambda 2, and lambda 3. So the light waves, all the wavelengths are combined here, lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda 3. Lambda is basically the wavelength of the light. And at the receiving side, you can see demultiplexer prism, which is again reflecting all the received data from the optical cable, and it is sending it is reflecting all the, or it is basically dispersing all the light waves based on their wavelengths, that is lambda 1, lambda 2, and lambda 3. And the receiving prism will have the lights receiving source like LED or some other receive source which can receive the light waves and interpret the signals. So they will have 3 light sources and three signals at the sender side and 3 light signals at the receiver side. So 3 can be multiplexed. 3 signals can be multiplexed at one time. This is one example of 3 signals. You can have multiple light signals coming at different wavelengths, and they can be clubbed and they can be then multiplexed and demultiplexed. This was WDM. So if we have more higher bandwidth, if we require more or higher bandwidth, then we can use DWDM, that is dense WDM, dense wavelength division multiplexing, in which we multiplex a large number of channels और उनका जो है स्पेसिंग, इंटर चैनल स्पेसिंग जो है या वेवलेंथ जो है उनमें डिफरेंस बहुत कम है. तो lambda 1 and lambda 2 are very close to each other. So that ways we can have dense WDM. Next is time division multiplexing. So अभी तक हमने जो किया था WDM और FDM, frequency division multiplexing और wavelength division multiplexing, दोनों में ही हमने जो signals transmit किए थे they were analog signals, fine. But in case of time division multiplexing, we say we are doing multiplexing of digital signals. So we are doing digital multiplexing. So time division multiplexing is a digital process that allows several connections to share the high bandwidth of a link. And instead of sharing a portion of the bandwidth as in FDM, time is shared. So now suppose I'll just give you one live example. Suppose you have a car and suppose you have marriage at home or some function is there at home, and you have only 2 cars which can be spared, and through which you can take your guests from your home to the venue, marriage venue. So what will you do? You will do time sharing and you will do FDM also. FDM is frequency division multiplexing. So the maximum capacity of your car is 5 people. At the most, you can have 5 people in a normal average car, like maybe any car, normal, not a big car, a small car. So maximum 5 people can sit there, including the driver. So if 5 guests are there, so they can be accommodated in 1 car, and you have only 2 cars. What you can do is, at max, at one point of time, only 10 guests, 10 relatives can be, they can commute from your home place to your marriage venue. Again, after 5 minutes, when they will go back, these cars can come back and then pick 10 more guests from your house and drop them at the marriage venue. So this is time division multiplexing. So what you are doing is, you're clubbing these 2. So you have time slots. So आपने क्या कहा, सबको टाइम स्लॉट दिया, 1 घंटे में सबको पहुंचाना है, लेकिन 1 घंटे में आपने क्या किया, जो रेडी होता जाएगा गेस्ट, जो आपके घर में जैसे कोई कजन्स हैं या सिस्टर्स हैं, ब्रदर्स हैं, चाचा चाची, whatever, whoever has come, the relatives who have come to attend your marriage, they can be multiplex, they can be time division multiplex, and you can say whoever is ready now, they can be accommodated, and 5 people in 1 car and 5 people in another car. There are 2 cars only. Those can be used to commute from your home to the marriage place. So max 10 people. So one by one, in every round, you can ask your relatives who is ready, and whosoever is ready with the data, that means whosoever is ready and they are done with their makeup and all, they can be dropped at the marriage venue. So this is time division multiplexing. Similarly, now as shown in figure 6.12, you can see there are 4 telephone lines or 4 sources, 4 laptops, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you are multiplexing them. So what you are doing is, right now the source 1, that is laptop 1, only has 1 data frame or 1 bit to be transferred, or 1 set of bits is there which it can transfer. ऐसा नहीं कि हर टाइम पर आपके पास आए, जैसे कि मैंने मैरिज का एग्जांपल दिया अभी आपको 2 मिनट पहले, तो उसमें ऐसा नहीं कि सारे के सारे गेस्ट एक साथ ही आपके घर पे आके आपके पेरेंट्स को मिलेंगे और सारे के सारे ही एक साथ रेडी हो जाएंगे, ऐसा कभी भी नहीं होगा. it is very rare possibility कि सारे 100% guests जो हैं, if suppose there are 100 people, 100 relatives and all of them are not ready at the same time. कभी कोई किसी को कुछ करना है, कभी किसी को कुछ करना है, so they are all not ready. So you can ask whosoever is ready, they can sit in the car and they can be dropped at the marriage venue. Similarly, like in this figure 6.12, always there is not, it's not that laptop 1 or laptop 2 is having the data for the entire duration of time. They have the data to be sent to the other side. So what you can do is you can multiplex and divide the time between them. So first frame from the first source, first frame from the second source, first frame from the third source, and first frame from the fourth source. So this way you can do in rotation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Another example of time division multiplexing is your class timetable. So now you know, right now you are not in the college, but you can see there are not hundreds of rooms, classrooms in the college. So, or we are not always busy. Like as a teacher, I may be taking 3 to 4 classes per day, or maybe maximum 5 classes per day, but I am not taking all the 8 lectures throughout the day. So what we can do is I can multiplex. So at one duration of time, I am taking your class, another duration of time, I am taking another class. So I am not busy with your class only for the entire day or entire week. So I am doing multiplexing, time division multiplexing. So whenever I am free, I have a free slot, I can take your class. When I am free from other class, or when I am free, I am not taking your class, I can take another class. Okay, so that is time division multiplexing. So I am not always 100% of the times busy. So my laptop is also not busy, so I can utilize that time to deliver my lecture or to do something else. This is time division multiplexing. You do it with your parents also, you do it with your siblings also. At home, if you have a shared laptop, you share your laptop with your siblings. So you can decide, okay, for 1 hour, I have 1 hour class with, suppose Akanksha ma'am, I'll use from 12 to 1. Okay, then you can ask your brother or sister, okay, now you have a class, you can share my laptop, or you want to enjoy, you want to do watch some movie, you can do it. So that ways you can do multiplexing on laptop also with your siblings at home, or maybe your parents if you are sharing your parents' laptop. So that is time division multiplexing, and as it is shown that it is always a sequence. So if you have four sources here as shown in the figure 1, 2, 3, 4, so always there is a rotation. So it will pick some data, same amount of data, and in the same amount of time it will pick. So data flow will be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will be sent to the receiving end accordingly. So the multiplexer will only send the data, the whole package at that duration of time to only one single destination. So now you can see in this figure, we are concerned with only multiplexing, not switching. We are not doing switching, बीच में switching करने कहीं पे data path find out करना नहीं, because हमें path find out नहीं करना, हमें पता है कि time slot अगर 1 का है तो अगर 1 का time slot है तो 1 ही transmit होगा, या 2 का है तो 2 ही transmit होगा, 2 का frame transmit होगा. So delivery of the data is fixed and unvarying, unlike switching. Switching हमने पढ़ा था क्योंकि हमारा बार बार रूट फाइंड आउट करना पड़ेगा, हर राउटर को देखना पड़ेगा कि कौन से वाला पाथ पर अब हमें डेटा को सेंड करना है, किसके लिए डेटा फ्रेम है वो. So we need to remember that TDM is normally digital multiplexing technique. So digital data from different sources are combined into one time shared link. However, this does not mean that the sources can't produce analog data. So analog data can be sampled, changed to digital data, and then multiplexed by using TDM. So normally we say TDM is for digital multiplexing, digital data, and it is not for analog data. And FDM and WDM are for analog data. Then, okay, now we can see that we can divide TDM into two different schemes. There are two different schemes, synchronous and statistical. So in synchronous, we'll be discussing only synchronous techniques here, and it is same in figure 6.12, and it is more explained clearly in figure 6.13. So you have time slots and frames. So suppose in figure 6.16, you can say there are three sources: A source, B source, and C source. There are three data sources or three channels on which the data is to be, digital data is to be transmitted. So the channel source A it is dividing its own data into different time slots. अब सपोज एक टाइम स्लॉट में ये एक ही बिट भेज पा रहा है, ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि एक टाइम स्लॉट में ये पूरा चंक ऑफ बिट्स, मानिए 16 बिट्स या 8 बिट्स, 8 करेक्टर बिट भेज सकता है, सॉरी 8 बिट करेक्टर भेज सकता है, 16 बिट्स भेज सकता है, 24 बिट्स भेज सकता है. इट डिपेंड्स कि टाइम स्लॉट में कितने बिट्स आपके ट्रांसमिट हो रहे हैं और कितना ज्यादा आपका कितना हाई डेटा रेट का आपका चैनल है. तो अगर एक टाइम यूनिट में, एक टाइम स्लॉट में अगर आपको 16 बिट्स भेजने, तो हर चैनल को उतना ही डिवाइड करना पड़ेगा, उतने ही टाइम स्लॉट्स को सेम टाइम स्लॉट्स मिलेगा सबको. ऐसा नहीं है कि एक को 2 सेकंड मिल गए एक चैनल को और दूसरे को 1 सेकंड ही मिला, ऐसा नहीं है. नॉर्मली इन सिंक्रोनस टीडीएम हर चैनल को जो कि मल्टीप्लेक्स कर रहा है, टीडीएम में मल्टीप्लेक्सिंग कर रहा है, हर डेटा चैनल को, सोर्स चैनल को सेम टाइम स्लॉट अलॉट होता है सिंक्रोनस में, और वो रिपीट होता है सेम पैटर्न. तो पहले आएगा आपका A1 फ्रेम. नाउ ए सोर्स का इसने क्या किया, टाइम के अकॉर्डिंगली, टाइम स्लॉट्स के अकॉर्डिंगली 3 चंक्स में अपने डेटा को डिवाइड कर दिया. A1 स्लॉट, सॉरी A1 फ्रेम, A2 फ्रेम एंड A3 फ्रेम. सिमिलरली B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. तो टाइम स्लॉट 1 में आपका क्या जाएगा, एक फ्रेम पूरा बन जाएगा आपका, क्योंकि अब ये देखो अपना जो A, B, C चैनल्स है, इनके जो टाइम स्लॉट्स है वो ज्यादा टाइम ले रहा है. उनका पूरा डेटा, उनका पूरा फ्रेम भेजने में, A1 फ्रेम भेजने में A चैनल को ज्यादा टाइम लग रहा है. सो T इज बिगर. लेकिन क्योंकि टीडीएम कर रहे हैं, टीडीएम हम क्यों कर रहे हैं, मल्टीप्लेक्सिंग हम क्यों कर रहे हैं, व्हाट इज द नीड? क्योंकि हमारा जो है जो चैनल है, जो हायर बैंडविड्थ चैनल है, वो बहुत हाई डेटा रेट का है. तो उसका जो टाइम स्लॉट है वो बहुत कम है, छोटा टाइम स्लॉट है, उसमें जल्दी जल्दी डेटा जा रहा है. तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं, ज्यादा डेटा को एक छोटे टाइम यूनिट में भेज सकते हैं, क्योंकि उसका टाइम भेजने का कम लग रहा है, उसमें हायर बैंडविड्थ डेटा है. तो हम क्या कर रहे हैं, उसमें एक ही टाइम स्लॉट में तीनों को क्लब करके, तीनों को कंबाइन करके भेज सकते हैं. सो इनफैक्ट आपको पता नहीं चलेगा कि टाइम डिवीजन मल्टीप्लेक्सिंग हो रही है, क्योंकि इतना फास्ट हो रहा है, उसकी टाइम साइकिल इतनी ज्यादा है, इतनी फास्ट है, बैंडविड्थ इतनी ज्यादा है, हायर कैपेसिटी है कि आपके तीनों ABC चैनल्स को पता नहीं चलेगा कि हम टाइम शेयरिंग कर रहे हैं. तो अब क्या हो रहा है कि A1 का जो फ्रेम है वो ज्यादा टाइम लगा रहा है अगर उसको इंडिविजुअली भेजोगे तो, लेकिन जब आप उसको हायर बैंडविड्थ चैनल पे भेजोगे तो उसी टाइम स्लॉट में वो तीनों चले जाएंगे. तो आप देखो, आप जो फ्रेम 1 बन रहा है उसमें क्या जा रहा है, A1 भी जा रहा है, A चैनल से भी जा रहा है, B चैनल से भी जा रहा है, C चैनल से भी. तो A1, B1, C1 उसी टाइम फ्रेम में हम एक फ्रेम पूरा भेज पा रहे हैं, जिसमें कि तीनों की फ्रेम्स क्लब्ड है, A चैनल के भी, B चैनल का भी, C चैनल का. सिमिलरली नेक्स्ट फ्रेम जो बना है वो A2, B2, C2 है. तो दोनों सेकंड फ्रेम ऑफ ईच चैनल इज मल्टीप्लेक्स एंड कंबाइंड इनटू वन फ्रेम, टाइम फ्रेम ऑफ द हाई बैंडविड्थ चैनल. एंड सिमिलरली A3, B3, C3 तो सेम टाइम में ही तीनों जा रहे हैं, तो पता नहीं चलेगा तीनों चैनल्स को, क्योंकि हमारा जो टाइम स्लॉट्स है हाई बैंडविड्थ चैनल के वो इतने कम टाइम ले रहे हैं और शॉर्ट्स हैं, टाइम स्लॉट्स बहुत छोटा है उसका भेजने का. तो यू कैन सी टीडीएम में जो टाइम स्लॉट है, आउटपुट टाइम स्लॉट है, वो दैट इज ऑलवेज T/n सेकेंड्स. तो अगर इनपुट टाइम स्लॉट T है और देयर आर n चैनल्स, तो आउटपुट चैनल जो होगा हमारा इतना हायर डेटा रेट का होगा और हाई बैंडविड्थ का होगा कि उसका जो एक टाइम स्लॉट है वो T/n सेकेंड्स का होगा. So you can club n channels into one time slot. So that way time will remain same for each channel. So it will in effect जो सेंडिंग चैनल्स है, सेंडर्स है, उनको पता ही नहीं चलेगा, रिसीवर जो है उनको पता ही नहीं चलेगा कि हमारी टाइम शेयरिंग हो रही है और हमारे स्लॉट्स हम शेयर कर रहे हैं, हम टाइम शेयर कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि वो हाई बैंडविड्थ का और हाई डेटा रेट का चैनल पर हम, क्योंकि उसका टाइम स्लॉट भेजने का हर डेटा को या हर डेटा चंक को, हर फ्रेम को भेजने का टाइम बहुत कम है हाई बैंडविड्थ चैनल. तो दिस इज सिंक्रोनस टीडीएम. अनदर वे इज स्टैटिस्टिकल टीडीएम, जो कि हमने यहाँ पर डिस्कस नहीं करना है, बुक में नहीं है. सो द ओनली थिंग आई कैन गिव यू हिंट अबाउट स्टैटिस्टिकल टीडीएम इज कि वहां पर अगर कोई चैनल के पास डेटा नहीं है तो उस केस में ए चैनल सपोज अपना डेटा सेंड करना बंद कर चुका है, अब उसको नहीं जरूरत है, तो बी एंड सी कैन शेयर द चैनल एंड दे कैन डू इट ऑन द नीड बेसिस. तो वो आपका पहले अपना भेज के टीडीएम चैनल पर अपना रिक्वेस्ट भेज सकते हैं. दे कैन हैव सम कंट्रोल मैसेजेस दैट आई वांट टू यूज द डेटा एट अ हायर स्पीड. तो मैं अभी इस टाइम स्लॉट में मेरे पास डेटा है, तो आई कैन सेंड, यू कैन सेंड इट लेटर इफ यू डोंट हैव द डेटा. सो दैट वेज दैट स्टैटिस्टिकल टीडीएम कैन बी यूज्ड by different channels, but that's beyond the scope of the syllabus. Okay, So I hope this is clear to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So any doubts you can ask me right now if you want to ask me any doubts. Otherwise, I'll take your email. Do you have any doubts now? You want to ask any doubts? Was my voice very low?